Hey, Michael here from Beer Baseball Blog, the adventures of craft beer and baseball. This is the Beer Baseball Blogcast, episode 18 for September 1st, 2020. Call-up day for minor leaguers. Obviously, this is a different season, but wherever you are watching us live today, please give us a like and a comment. Let us know that you're out there. And as always, we'd appreciate it if you subscribe, turn on notifications, tell a friend, spread the word. We're doing so great with your contributions. Here is the lineup card for today. Angelo Trinidad, a fun fact, first favorite player, Ken Griffey Jr. Angelo, welcome.
Hey, everyone. Hey, Michael. Hey, Kevin.
Right on. Thank you so much for joining. Second up, Kevin Lyon. Fun fact, first favorite player, Reggie Jackson. Welcome, Kevin.
Hey, thanks for having me aboard. I'm telling you, if you were an Angels fan in the early 80s, it's one of those things when Reggie came up to bat, it's like Trout now, everyone's stopping to watch the at-bat, no matter what happened, whether it be Reggie hitting a home run or striking out. So
that's right. He was fun to watch. And Ken Griffey Jr. too. I mean, you had to watch everything that he did. Yep. Now, Angelo, did you have baseball? Is it because of baseball? Baseball cards, I should say.
Not necessarily because of baseball cards. I think it was just the time, and he was undoubtedly the most exciting player to watch at that time, because of not just because of his power, but because of his speed and his agility, his fielding, his defense. So, I just remember growing up. 93, 94, when I first started getting into baseball, I had the Mariners jersey with the 24. I had a Griffey poster on my wall, and that was kind of my introduction into watching baseball. And that kind of got me into, watching the A's and the Giants because, they're local and they were on TV all the time. But man, definitely an exciting player. And much like you talked about, Kevin, when Reggie Jackson went up to bat, everything kind of stopped. You could almost say the same thing for Ken Griffey because also the one thing people fail to realize is how deep Griffey was in that home run chase with Sosa and McGuire up to a certain point as well.
That's a good point until the injuries caught up with him. And Only Just Podcast, thank you for joining the backward hat during BP. So even during BP, people would watch him, hitting and stuff like that. It was so iconic that became really like the Jordan logo, like the silhouette of who he was. It was such he was a very iconic player. I'm Michael Mondragon. A fun fact, my first favorite player, I guess, would be Ozzie Smith. I might even go back to Keith Hernandez. Now, this is something I've been trying, when you asked the question, guys, like what was our first favorite player, I really had a hard time coming up with a player. And the reason is because I grew up in an out-of-market area. So I grew up in Phoenix, so we only had the Dodgers, and I think the Rockies weren't there at that time in the 80s, in the 70s. So, I mean, we got Dodgers, but we would get the game of the week. So I would only see players every so often. Yeah, so but I mean, obviously the Cardinals were great during the 80s, so I got to watch Ozzie Smith, and who wouldn't like him? I mean, even when he's with the Padres, he was always on This Week in Baseball and stuff like that. So I actually had a hard time with this question, but I would honestly say that that Albert Pujols was the only guy that I actually would, when I would go to road games for the Cardinals, I'd actually run because I knew he'd be up in the top of the first.
Yep.
So I would run to it because I knew that, and I was always rewarded, not always, but a majority rewarded because he would hit home runs like all the time. So when I was there, so that was always cool.
Awesome, very good.
All right, so let's get to it. Angelo, what are you drinking and what are you wearing today?
All right, so today I am trying the New Belgium Voodoo Ranger Juicy Haze IPA. So when I found this at the grocery store, I guess there's other Voodoo Ranger IPAs. There's like 3 different iterations of it. But this one is 7.5 ABV. So let's see how the show goes. With the 42 IBU, and the description on Untappd describes it as packed with bright tropical aromas and brilliant citrusy flavors. This unfiltered IPA wraps up with a pleasantly smooth finish. And I will say for an IPA with IBU of 42, it is relatively smooth. And definitely I could taste the tropical flavors on this. So really, really good. And this is going to be added to my regular rotation, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's you're boldly going where you haven't gone before, right? This is your first hazy?
No, I had the Cider Haze Green Flash Brewing a few weeks ago. But I actually prefer the hazy IPA. Now that I've had a few of them, I prefer the hazy IPA over the standard IPA. So
okay.
I also feel like with this Voodoo Ranger, I should be playing some Jimi Hendrix in the background.
Yeah, so this is
always... Yeah, wait to belt and play it,
Right.
Right on.
And then what I'm wearing, this is a repeat wear. This is my Around the Horn shirt from Baseballism. And then I have my 4th of July Angels hat from last season. So I was this close to buying a new hat over the weekend, and I just couldn't quite pull the trigger, but I almost bought the Angels hat with the Jackie Robinson patch. But I decided to hold off for now.
Well, that's awesome. And that beer actually has 5 different hops in it. So Citra, Cascade, Centennial, Simcoe, and Nugget, which I've never heard of before. That's pretty cool. Kevin, what are you drinking tonight?
Yeah. All right, so my weekly trip to get my jug ready because the people love me drinking out of the jug. My growler this week, as usual, I went to Red Beer's Tap Room in Anaheim, California, right by Angel Stadium. And this week I saw this beer, and I was like, oh, this is funny. So I'll try it. It's by Riip Brewing in Huntington Beach, California. The name of the beer is Deceiver of the Yeast. I'm going to throw this up here because the ABV is 666.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why it's called Deceiver of the Yeast. And I didn't see a IBU listed. It's actually a collaboration beer I found out with them and a small brewery in Santa Ana called the Santa Ana River Brewing. And that's because where that location is right by the Santa Ana River. I'm trying to think if people would even know Santa Ana. It's just off Harbor Boulevard. If you're around the Harbor and Warner, I think around that area, if you know Santa Ana at all. And this has some, I haven't tried this yet, but it has some raw pineapple and tropical juice flavors. And interesting, the hops is like Cashmere, Idaho 7, and one of our favorite experimental hops. So wow.
Yeah.
APC 692. I'm like, oh, that sounds like I am going straight to HELL.
HE double hockey sticks, I've heard. Yeah. And it says like 2 different cryo hops. So I'll have to look more into that, what the cryo hops are.
Here and the Idaho 7, yes. Oh, that's nice.
And Ed says, KLB, all about rustic drinking.
Absolutely, sir. Stepping around. I've been drinking since the rustic times, Yeah.
He was drinking in the Prohibition area at the era.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, we determined that last
brewery.
Absolutely. And this week I'm representing AAA baseball. The hat is from the Buffalo Bisons, or I can say the Buffalo Blue Jays.
Yeah.
And this here is the Los Mariachis de Nuevo Mexico. It was the Copa de la Diversión version of the Albuquerque Isotopes AAA team. I believe the Rockies. I think it was when I think they still are. So yeah, I just represent AAA baseball today.
Nicely done. So I'm flipping the script a little bit.
Ooh.
I'm actually going with 2 ciders. Now, I've been putting over 101 Cider House for quite a while. The most awesome thing about these 2 ciders are that there is 0 sugar in them, which is crazy to think. So the first one, the first one I'm going to talk about, but the second one I'm going to have is Juicy Roots, and it's actually apples, carrot, blood orange, and ginger, and it's cider co-fermented. And let's see here, yeah. So it's technically a sour cider. So the cool thing about it is that like I said, it has no sugar in it, which is it's really kind of blows the mind because it tastes so refreshing and so good. And then there's another one called the Friendly Stranger, which is apples, passion fruit, yerba mate, and dandelion. I can't distinguish the dandelion, but I'm gonna try to. And this is really good too. So if you want to try something that's a little bit more, I would say, not refreshing, but just super different. But you want to be a little bit more experimental. The sours are not super sour. They're just different than beers, and I highly recommend trying them out. The reason I say that is sometimes when beer gets too hoppy, it's nice to have a cider that you can just have an option. And I highly recommend, if you see this, give it a try. I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised by it. So, do you guys like any ciders or sours?
I'm hit and miss on sour. I do enjoy sours, but I can only do like 1 or 2 of them because they're so tardy.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple places I've gone to. We've been to Phantom Carriage. That's a great place in Carson, where they specialize in that. But they also have the good beers, and it's more horror themed. And they have a whole room where they show movies. So hopefully that opens up eventually, so you can get back there. Or Beechwood Blendery, we went to. Did you go? You went there, right, Michael?
Yes, Beechwood Blendery in Long Beach.
Yeah. Yes.
And then there's Cascade Brewing. Actually, the Phantom Carriage that we went to did a collaboration with Cascade out of Portland. And then there was oh God, I always forget the name of this place. There used to be one in San Diego. I don't think it's there anymore, but that's where I first had them, where they specialize in sours. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely, if you probably have to go with someone to kind of like help you ease you into it, because it's going to have a much different beer experience. Yeah. But it's very good, very refreshing, and as you see right here, it's just clear. There's a little bit of cloudiness because of all the stuff that's in it. Yeah. But again, it's super good, and highly recommend that you try it if you ever have a chance.
And I would say with ciders, they don't seem to be as tardy as like some of the sours I've had. And I've got something for 101 before, and hey, you know what? They're independent brewery as well, even though they're brewing ciders. I'm like, so of course we want to support them. We want these businesses to stay around after all this.
Yeah, and that's been a big issue here in Los Angeles. Getting these breweries, getting the state, the health departments to open up these breweries without the food, or partner with food, or get them going, because they're really struggling right now. And I would hate to see any of them go under, because there's a lot of really good ones that are really struggling right now. All right, so this day in baseball history for September 1st. This is a good one. So September 1st, 1890, on Labor Day at Brooklyn's Washington Park, the Bridegrooms, later known as the Dodgers — I bet you if you ask any Dodger fan, they would not know that —
Wow.
win all 3 games against Pittsburgh in the first triple header ever played. The home team sweeps the visiting Alleghenies, who will be renamed the Pirates next season, 10-9, 3-2, 8-4. The Bridegrooms versus the Alleghenies. That could have been today, right? If they would have kept it.
Sounds like Kevin was brewing a little something at the convention stand.
Yes, absolutely. 3 games, hey, there could be a triple header by the end of this season. You know what I mean? With the Cardinals and the Marlins, they might have like a 9-game series in 3 days.
That's true, and it doesn't say if it was. I'm sure these were 9-inning games, so they would be 7-inning games if the doubleheaders this year are 7-inning games. So very interesting. Also on September 1st, 1964, Masanori Murakami becomes the first native-born Japanese player to appear in a U.S. major leagues when he throws a scoreless eighth inning in the Giants' 4-1 loss to the Mets at Shea Stadium. The 20-year-old southpaw, who was to play in only minor league ball until June as an exchange player, will be allowed to stay and play in one full season with San Francisco next year, returning to the Nakai Hawks, ending the brief American stint with a 5-1 record and an ERA of 3.75. I love this, and actually, if you go and while someone else talk, I'm actually going to look up our playlist, and I'm going to put the playlist in the comments. There's actually a really great video on the 50th anniversary of this. He actually goes back and throws out the first pitch, and it's fascinating to watch.
Wow.
Super cool.
Yeah, this is really interesting because when you could see it seemed like it was an exchange program for him to play one full season, but I mean, for his first stint in the States in Major League Baseball, 5-1 record with an ERA of 3.75. That's pretty darn good. And we also can't move forward without mentioning how American this picture is. Him enjoying a good old all-American hot dog.
Man, he has nothing on there either. It's just a plain old dog.
I know it's such a great iconic picture.
It's funny how he's holding it though. It's like, if there was condiments on there, they've been falling all over his jersey.
Right.
And so Angelo, did you know of this player? Being a Giants fan, have you heard of him?
Yeah, I've heard of him because I do remember not vividly, but vaguely that the 50th anniversary and throwing out the first pitch. But I definitely have seen this photo before. Pretty iconic when you look at any type of baseball book like baseball history and photos and stuff like that. It always kinds of stands out. And if I'm not mistaken, it was several years until there was another native Japanese born player to play in the league, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't even know what it would have been, because this is an era still, exchange of 1 year. This is when still the teams had way more control over the players, like where they're going to play and all that. That didn't change till around 1970-ish or so, when Kurt Flood and Marvin Miller helped open things up.
So September 1st, 1971. Now, we talked about this before when we did our tribute to Doc Ellis and his LSD no-hitter. In a 10-7 victory against the Phillies at Pittsburgh Three River Stadium, the Pirates became the first Major League team to start an all-black team. The lineup includes Al Oliver, Rennie Stenen, Jackie Hernandez, Dave Cash, Willie Stargell, Gene Clines, Roberto Clemente, Doc Ellis, and Manny Sanguian. Remember, excuse me?
What a photo. Sorry, I'm still just marveling over that photo. That's a great photo.
Isn't it great? And I actually cut out a girl because there was actually another girl in this photo. So they were really styling back then.
Oh, yeah. The funny thing about that or this stat or this note of history is talking about it's the first Major League team to start an all-black team, and it's that lineup. When you look at that lineup, that's just a really solid lineup, regardless of color, regardless of ethnicity. That's just a really good lineup.
Yeah.
So that kind of just shows you how far the game had kind of evolved at that point.
Yeah, and this is still 24 years after Jackie Robinson debuted.
Yeah.
And one thing I remember in the documentary is, because they talked about this in it, some of the guys it didn't even really occur to them until someone else mentioned it. It's oh yeah, it's one of those things where they were just such a cohesive team. And obviously they did well. Did they win the World Series? They lose it that year.
They did. No, they won. They won that year.
Over Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they won the World Series this year. So obviously they had a hell of a team.
Yep. September 1st, 1975, Tom Seaver becomes the first pitcher to strike out at least 200 batters in 8 consecutive seasons. The 3-0 victory is also Tom Terrific's 20th of the season, making it the 4th time of the right-hander has reached the plateau in his career. Tom Seaver is, when he's brought up, people kind of marvel at this, but I don't think he's talked about enough as far as, super dominant pitcher. And it kind of reminds me of, I was trying to think of a comparable person to him. Jason Verlander, maybe?
Maybe.
Noah Syndergaard, maybe?
Yeah, it'd have to be a guy who's been, I mean, those even like a Cider, I don't think has been around.
No, not as long, but like what kind of pitcher was he at this point? Yeah.
Who's able to do that? And who's going to have 8 straight seasons nowadays with 200 Ks? You know, I mean,
yeah, maybe Scherzer,
maybe.
or that's the only people I can think of.
4 times even winning 20 games. You know, it's rare for like a handful of pitchers to get more than 20 nowadays.
Yeah.
So this is a very unique one, to say the least. On September 1st, 1980, on the final day of the season, Paw Sox infielder Wade Boggs loses the International League batting title when he grounds out to first base in his final turn at bat of the season.
No.
Okay, so we were talking before about Fernando Tatis and the unwritten rules.
Yeah.
Talk about some gamesmanship. Listen to this.
Oh, yeah.
The plate appearance is necessitated when the Toledo Mud Hens, who are ahead 6-0, issue a 2-out intentional walk in the 9th inning to light-hitting Ray Boyer, who makes every attempt to be put out at the end of the game.
Wow.
But Boyer is allowed to stroll around the bases and score on a deliberate error by the Toledo pitcher, forcing Boggs to make one last unnecessary plate appearance that will put him .007 of a percentage point behind Mud Hens outfielder Dave Engel. They did this only because their player was needed to win the batting title.
Why did they not pinch hit for Boggs?
Why didn't?
That's a very good point.
That's a great, I thought of a million different things. Why didn't the runner just run out of the base path or something, or I don't know, interfere or something like that, or like run and tackle the pitcher?
Look how much this meant. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh my gosh. But I didn't think about what he said, what Angelo said, but I'm like, okay, if I'm at the plate, should I just lean in, just take one on the shoulder or something?
Right. There's so many.
It was batting average, so it wouldn't have affected or impacted.
No, it wouldn't. He's supposed to just stand there and hope you don't get walked. I mean, but you never know. Wow.
Well,
God.
Here's the thing. We're sitting here talking about Wade Boggs and not Dave Engel, so there you go.
Yep.
True. And if he would have, think about this. So, like, say he would have hit it to the shortstop could have thrown it in the stands, therefore giving him an error, and that would have been 0 for 1.
Right.
Oh. Okay.
So many ways out of this.
I'm still trying to figure out. I'm still trying to figure out how this is a minor league photo of him, and he already looks like.
Oh my God!
Yeah, for sure. God, he already had the full stash. He already looks like he's like 26.
Yep.
Ed says that Corporal Max Klinger, that the Mud Hens must have been behind this. Definitely.
Very good.
That is a very, very deep call back to our childhood right there.
Good job, Jamie Farr.
All right.
I did not know that Mud had even or one for Jamie Farr.
So a video of this is actually on the playlist as well. September 1st, 1980, Ed Farmer, actually the same day, obviously, as the Boggs, Ed Farmer, who had been accosted on the mound in June by Al Cowens, agrees to drop assault charges brought against the Tiger center fielder by the Illinois authorities in exchange for a handshake and apology from his attacker. Prior to the Comiskey Park contest, the two former combatants bring out the lineup cards, smile, shake hands, but the White Sox fans will continue to boo the Detroit player, and a Coward Cowens banner will express the Southsider sentiments.
There you go.
So actually on the playlist, it actually shows the video. It's weird because Al Cowens grounds out, but then you don't see him. He just charges the mound instead of running to first base. And Harry Carey's actually doing the announcing, and it's really worth checking out.
He's still on the White Sox, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
September 1st, 1987, during the 4th inning of the Astros 3-2 loss to Chicago at home. Billy Hatcher has an apparent infield hit taken away and is immediately ejected from the game after his shattered bat reveals to have been corked. So I can't find any footage of this.
I forgot about this play, but when you say, like, oh my God, I totally remember this, because that's the first time I ever heard of a bat being corked. I'm like, what?
Yeah, and we always see the Sabo one. We always see the Sammy Sosa one, but never this one. Never this one. The Houston left fielder, who is suspended for 10 days, claims he mistakenly picked up Dave Smith's bat, throwing him under the bus, which was used by the pitcher during batting practice prior to the game.
See, I would buy it if they say it was Mike Scott's bat. Because, Mike Scott, see, I almost got you on that one, Michael.
Yes.
Mike Scott was a great pitcher in the 80s who was definitely accused of some shenanigans. I'll just leave it at that.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. September 1st. Oh, I have it on my thing is 1890, but it's actually 2007, but it's on the on my end it says 1890, which is not the truth. Actually, let me go back.
Oh, there you go.
In only his second major league start, Clay Buchholz, using an assortment of fastballs, curves, and changeups, becomes the 20th rookie to throw a no-hitter, beating Baltimore Orioles. The 23-year-old right-hander, who was called up from Pawtucket in AAA to make the start, becomes the youngest of 17 players to have accomplished the feat in Red Sox history. Do you remember this? Him coming up and doing this?
Man, I don't. And he was I just saw him pitch in Arizona in 2018. I don't know if I was drawing out, but I saw him pitch I was like, and he actually was going through a little bit of a comeback there, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. And he I always say this about, I'm going to go back one slide here. If you look at his name, I always get people on this. The fact that he has 2 H's and a Z in his name.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like it's so crazy. Like I don't know anybody else that has 2 H's and a Z in their name, especially back to back like that. So all right. So let me go here. September 1st, 2008, in Arizona's 8-6 comeback victory over the St. Louis Cardinals, Stephen Drew singles in the first, triples in the third, homers in the fifth, and doubles in the seventh to complete the cycle. The Diamondbacks shortstop becomes the 3rd player in franchise history and the first major leaguer to accomplish the feat at Chase Field, formerly known as Bank One Ballpark. The reason why I bring this up, I was at this game.
Right on. Awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, why is it cycle cool? But I'm like, right on, you're there.
Yeah.
Very good.
I was there for this. And how about this? Because I was a Cardinal fan, I had no idea that he had a triple. Or I'm sorry, that he had the cycle going. So when he hit the double, I'm just like, oh, and I'm just like, oh, but he just hit that for the cycle. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize it at the time. The very same day, Adrian Beltre triples in the 8th inning off a Rangers right-hander, Josh Riip, to become the 4th player in franchise history, joining Jay Buhner, Alex Rodriguez, and John Olerud to hit for the cycle.
Wow.
Yeah,
So 2 cycles in one day, and I was at one of them, so that's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Very cool. Well, Michael, I was at this game.
You were at this game?
Yes, absolutely. If
Yeah.
it makes her better story, that's all I'll say. Well, you're getting way of a good story.
Speaking of Adrian Beltre, in his first game back from the DL after suffering a torn right testicle when a bad hop grounder hit him in the groin last month, Adrian Beltre hears the Nutcracker Suite when he steps into the batter's box.
That's terrible.
Mariner teammate and Angelo's favorite player,
Yeah.
Ken Griffey Jr., arranged to have the Safeco Field PA system play the waltz to have some fun with the third baseman, who decided not to wear a protective cup until today's game. Can you imagine not wearing a cup at all, and then this is the way that you're kind of thrust into it?
Wow.
There's only one person who has an excuse to not wear a cup. Amanda and the Bad News Bears. All right?
That's right. For religious reasons.
Yeah, whoever said it. Yeah. Well, she was a girl. I mean, come on.
Oh, no. The one kid said that he couldn't wear it because of religious reasons, but the girl, she didn't want to wear it because,
I was
exactly.
the obvious, the female.
So that is September 1st, 2009. 2009. Just this day in baseball. And that will take us now to Baseball Card Pack Wars. We've been looking forward to this for some time. This is, before I move on, Cowboy Jack Durango says, cups are for marks.
Okay.
Wow. I guess,
Well,
yeah. I don't know. It's hard to say. I actually one of my first baseball lessons actually was in high school. This didn't happen to me, but I saw it. The catcher was standing. The umpires came out, and our coaches came out, and our catcher was standing right there. And the umpires asked, "Oh, does your catcher have a cup?" And our coach took not the bat end, but the other the knob end, and whacked him right there. And he wasn't wearing a cup. Yeah, so that I always remember that. So I was like, that could always happen. It doesn't have to be a ball that hits you right there.
wow. Oh my goodness.
Here are the standings. Look at this. Percentage points ahead. Kevin at 18 and 36. Angelo coming from the cellar straight to the top. All Angels podcast going to give you some of that mojo. I'm only technically one game behind, right?
But remember,
one game behind me, yeah.
Yeah, behind Angelo.
But Kevin's played less games overall, so.
That's right. So I actually mixed that in.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so here's the rules. We're going to open our packs. A relic card knocks out one participant of choice. An autographed card knocks out both. After all packs are open, high number card wins, and collectively we drink when we get a Brewers card. Our wild card round, which is our third round here, equals 2 points. The first round is just 1. And Cowboy Jack Durango, drink up after every card.
I hope he's okay being rule number 7 now instead of rule number 6. Hopefully
exactly. Lucky number 7.
Exactly.
All right, so since Kevin's in first place,
all right.
Why don't you go, Kevin?
Okay, so we're going to start today with the top 2020 Series 2. Let's see what we got in here.
We're looking for who are we looking for? Who's the kill card again?
Oh no, you said
Adam Wainwright?
Wainwright, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because it was like it was such a less profile player. All right, well, let's see.
It's a complete game.
The first card is Adam Wainwright. That was a good one. Lance McCullers. Delino DeShields. I didn't know he ended up going to the Indians. Not DeShields Jr., that is.
Yeah.
I actually saw him play in Lancaster in single A ball. Chris Taylor. Los Doyers. Jaime Barriga. The Angels. Future Stars card of Luis Arias.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Fisher. Not that Derek Fisher, obviously. He looks a lot different, a lot younger than the former Laker. We have Frankie, Mr. Suspension Montes last year.
Yeah.
Kyle Tucker, a future star. Here we go. I got a Topps Now card of Luis Robert.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll definitely be glad to have that. We have a 1985 style card of Aaron Nola. Two inserts it looks like in there. Jurickson Profar. And lastly, a team card that says New York State of Mind. It's Aaron Judge and Sanchez rise up during ALCS. That's for Ed Brown watching out there.
Nice.
There
Nice.
you go.
All right, Angelo, you're up.
All right. Top Series 2. All right. Chicago White Sox team card. Seattle Mariners team card. Mike Zunino. Keone Kela. Martin Perez. Jose Osuna. Gio Urshela. Luis Rengifo. Steven Duggar. Renato Nunez, Ryan Zimmerman, Chad Pinder. This one is different, actually. So this one, if you notice, the Topps logo.
Oh yeah.
And it's the cardboard backing instead of the. And this one's 57.
Yeah.
This one's 57 of 99. So that's a cool one.
Right. Wow. Who is that again?
Chad Pinder from the Oakland
Right
A's.
Cool.
Mike.
Mondragon?
Fultonevich.
Fultonevich. There you go. Scott Oberg is the last one.
Nice. All right. So I didn't tell you who I was wearing. Actually, I'm pretty good about doing that. Yeah, this is the Myrtle Beach Pelicans. They actually had a variation on their hats. I think it was for like a Pirates theme that they were doing. So they made this hat, and I thought it was really cool. So I got one, and I got the Houston Colt 45s, the original Houston Astros. Which, in the comments, I know, bang bang, get it. Can't. I know we haven't had a chance to bash them yet. We'll get them. We'll get them later. All right, so Series 2 coming up. Speaking of it, Jack Mayfield. We have not got a Brewers yet, by the way.
No, I was saying. Nope. I didn't want to bring that up.
Drew Steckenrider. I have not heard of him.
And you know what? Jack doesn't notice, so don't worry about it.
Willie Castro. Noah Syndergaard. DJ Stewart. Let's see here. Tony Kemp. Eduardo Escobar. Xander Bogaerts. Let me see if I can get this. My light is super agreeing with me, right?
Yeah, so is mine.
Jose Rodriguez. Tim Lopes. TJ Zeuch. Actually, Kevin, I think we saw TJ Zeuch pitch in the Arizona Fall League.
The name rings a bell, so that's no problem.
I think we saw him in Peoria. Yoenis Cespedes. Here, actually, probably getting hurt.
He's right now. He's sliding out of the season in that picture.
Yeah,
and this is actually a variation card. If you see, it is actually
out of the
1910 out of 2020.
Right on.
Charlie Blackmon and Logan Webb.
There you go.
All right, so let me go back to this.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
Kevin.
My high card is Luis Arez, who is number 612.
Ooh.
We got 700 cards. We go up to 700, so I know that was not going to be a winner.
I got the Chicago White Sox team card 663.
Yeah, there you go.
Jose Rodriguez, 678.
There you go.
All right. There you go.
Wow.
We're going to climb out of that cellar. We now have a tie for second
Wow,
place.
this has been a very even series so far. Like we thought somebody's going to run away with it, and it never happened. Okay, so now we move on. We're moving on to archives, right?
Yep.
Yeah, this is a brand new one, so make sure you talk about that, please.
Yeah, definitely. So this is this came out just a few weeks ago. It is 2020 Topps Archives Baseball. We were actually gifted this by Hall of Fame Baseball Cards in Arcadia, California. And the way this is going, I think we're going to buy a lot more because these are super cool cards. And I think that you'll notice that they have throwback cards, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second.
And also, there's 2 autographs per box. We're splitting 1 box.
Yeah. So we have 8 packs. So Francisco Lindor. So you can see here, it's like got that old.
I think that's 55 style. They're 55, 56.
Yeah, and it's got that really cool backs and everything. These are really, really beautiful. Ohtani Shohei.
Oh, very good.
Very cool. But then they also have this, Louis Aparicio. Little Louis.
Is that an insert or is that just a regular card?
It's just regular cards. So they actually have players that are from past and present.
Very
so
good.
Hunter Dozier, I think this is
Oh,
what 74.
74. I think that's 74.
Yeah. John Lester. This is a very interesting one. I'm not seeing a Noah
look at that.
Syndergaard, Thor.
Wow.
So different variations on these as well. And then it says 2020 tops. So this is Matt Olson. So again, another design.
Yeah.
And then Orlando Cepeda.
Oh, wow. Very good.
I think that's 2000. It's 55, 74, and 2001. I think is what the other design is.
Oh
Okay.
wow!
Yeah,
I don't even recognize it at all. But then
Only 1301. That.
yeah, so the backs of them look like that.
Yeah.
Okay, who wants to go next?
Kevin, you want to go or you want me to go?
I guess that means me. All right, we have 8 cards in here. Let's see what we got. I'm looking forward to seeing what these look like. Now, if I can just get this sucker open. And I'm sorry if Bugs out there. No Brewers yet.
Yeah, what the heck?
What's happening here? All right, the first card I have is Gavin Lux. There you go. Nice start to this.
Cool.
Oh, here we go. Lefty. And I believe he was featured last week in Who Am I? Steve Carlton.
There you go.
We have Josh Bell. God, these are really cool cards. I'm enjoying just looking at these. Hot prospect last year. Still doing well. Chris Paddock for the Padres.
Yeah.
Jason Hayward. Oh, I got a dual card here. It says Angels Elite, and I believe this is an insert. If you're talking Elite for the Angels, it's going to be Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout.
Nice.
And then we have Cody Bellinger and Elvis Andrews.
Nice.
Very cool.
That's a good pack. I like it. Thank you.
All right.
All right, Angel, what do you got for us? Do we know how many cards are in the set, Michael?
That's a very good question. I'll look that up in the
I guess
background.
we'll find out together, huh?
So I got Jordan Yamamoto. These are gorgeous cards, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Xander Bogaerts. Ozzy Albies.
Nice.
El Nino. Fernando
Nice.
Tatis
All
Jr.
right. Very good.
Eduardo Escobar.
Mhm.
Purple Parallel Jose Urquidy.
Oh, nice. You have to see if that's numbered later.
It is not. It's just a purple parallel.
All right. I was one of those numbered as well.
Yeah. Michael Conforto and Dennis Eckersley, but on the Red Sox.
Nice.
That's the older one, yeah.
Very cool. So is that it?
That's it.
All right. So my high card is Matt Olson at 242.
The reason why I asked is I was figuring there's 300 cards because I have Elvis Andrews 294.
Ooh.
Because there are 3 different styles of cards, so
Yeah.
I'm thinking
100
is
each, yeah.
100 each. Yeah, like this is the 1 through 100.
290. So Kevin, you
Wow.
Right. Edge that one out. So I'm guessing is there's 300 in the set. Well, I'll gladly
well,
take
the
that.
only thing that's going to be no fun is we know the high cards are going to be this design because it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
but it's okay.
But you notice it's in that order in the pack.
Yep.
yeah.
It's going in the actual like order of the designs. At least it was in my pack, and I'm thinking it was in your guys' as well.
Well, yeah, it is, but I think that's probably by design too because it's in a sequential 55, 74.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. But those
All right.
are really nice cards. I really enjoyed looking at those.
So Kevin, you're up.
All right, well, let's get the bag ready.
And what's the stipulation?
Oh, shoot. All right.
Oh, actually, that Urquidy is numbered. I just saw it. It's
Right on.
168 out of 175 in gold foil.
Mm.
Oh,
I just
very
couldn't see it
good.
because it kind of blended in with his jersey
Right.
a little bit.
All right, well, let's go with most outfielders.
Outfielders, okay.
Like it.
Outfielders. That's something new. And I have the 2020 Topps Pro debut. I've not had a chance to see what these look like yet.
Oh, so this is interesting. Now we have to look. Oh no, I'm sorry. I have to look for the Brewers affiliates.
Oh,
because it's minor league.
Okay. Ah, interesting. All right, it might say on the card what it actually is.
No, it says the teams, but we have to find out what the.
Well, I mean, it's like on the front here. It says on the cover it's JJ Bleday, and it says Miami Marlin. But then again, it says 2020 first round draft pick.
So I have it in the background, so it's all good.
All right. It might even say on the card, but I mean, whatever. We've told no Brewers today. We're like tanking here, so let's see what we got here. Let's see if I heard any of these guys. Well, you know what? It does say the team. Oh, you know what? I have their hat here. I did see this team live. I have Oscar Gonzalez, outfielder. Very good. For the Akron Rubber Ducks. So I'll put that off the side. That's one outfielder. Cameron Misner, outfielder with the Gulf Coast League Marlins. Let me show you what that looks like right there. You see, it is an outfielder. Hopefully you can see. I'm not just working, you guys. I have first baseman Lewin Diaz of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Oh, so good.
Nice.
I'm liking these cards already. Let's see. I have a shortstop for the Gulf Coast League Red Sox, Cameron Cannon. I might need your help here. I have an insert, Michael. Oh, no, never mind. I see what position he is. Actually, you know this guy. This is a card, an insert called Tape Measure Power with Nolan Gorman.
Yeah, there you go.
Cardinals.
Future Cardinal third baseman.
Did you enjoy that one? I got another outfielder. This is Jake Sanford from the Staten Island Yankees. That's 3. That's not bad out of 8 cards. We have a shortstop from the Altoona Curve. O'Neal Cruz is his name.
Yep.
O'Neal Cruz.
Yep.
Okay.
That guy's super tall. Look how tall he is. Look on the back and look how tall he is. I saw him play in the Arizona Fall League last year.
6'7", weighs 175.
He's a 6'7" shortstop.
Wow, that's crazy. And it looks like the Pirates, right? Up the Curve is a Pirates affiliate, I believe.
Yeah.
Gosh, no Brewers. And lastly, I have the second baseman of the Northwest Arkansas Naturals, Gabriel Cancel.
Nice.
That's a fun little. These are fun. I like these.
Very cool.
That is a cool set.
But yeah, I have 3 outfielders, so that's not bad out of 8 cards. I'll take it.
So Jack says, "I feel sorry for anyone not following Rule 7 right now."
You know, I think I'm over.
All right, Angelo, go for it.
All right. So I got the handy dandy baseballism bag here. All right. So I have a Topps 2019 update series.
Nice.
So this would follow Series 1 and Series 2.
Mm-hmm.
So we should see Topps 2020 update series coming relatively soon, I'm sure.
How many cards are in that pack, Angelo?
This one, there's 14 cards.
Oh, so there you go. That helps you.
Yep.
Yeah. So I got Omar Narvaez, catcher. Dallas Keuchel. Tyson Ross.
Uh-oh.
John Duplantier.
At least get a Brewer. Come on.
Jose Barrios, all pitchers.
Wow.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God. I was a pitcher if I've already lost.
Kyle Dowdy.
Oh, my gosh.
Richard Lovelady.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Huang Wei Chen.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Like, what, 7 pitchers out of like 8
It's a pitcher hot pack.
Yeah.
Pete Alonso.
Oh, that's a good card, though.
Dylan Moore.
What position is Dylan Moore?
Third base.
Okay,
Jeez.
so I'll be sure.
Austin Riley, outfield. 1.
Yep, there you go.
1.
Jordan Lyles, pitcher.
Man.
2019 season highlights, 2,000 RBIs, Albert Pujols.
So there you go.
And wouldn't be rounding out my pack if I wasn't rounding it out with a pitcher.
Oh my God. Wow. 14 cards to waste.
1 out of
God.
14. Holy cow.
All right. So
I
let
had
me.
8 pitchers in that pack.
That's nuts. If it
Well,
would have been pitcher, you would have been
Wow.
styling. All right. There we go.
I know what stipulation never to pick for Angelo if I do this again.
Yeah, for real. All right. Ooh,
Oh,
There
you got
we
the
go.
Flair Ultra.
92 Flair Ultra. And this contains 14 cards. So let's do it. And we have had no brewers yet,
No.
which is crazy. So,
And funny note is, remember, this is when I believe they were still in the American League, if you're going back to that era. So let's see if you can get like a Teddy Higuera or someone like that, you know?
yeah. Well, I'm going to start out with a San Diego Padres, a Rich Rodriguez pitcher.
All right.
Not a good start. Another one, Dave Burba, pitcher.
I've never ever seen these cards before, so I'm interested to see it.
Shortstop, Tim Naring.
Here's the
Okay.
next question. Angelo, how many of these guys have you heard of, you know?
None so
Yeah.
far.
Finally, outfielder, Jarvis Brown, right? Yeah, Jarvis Brown.
I don't know.
Finally. Another pitcher, Todd Farnsworth. Or Farnsworth.
Front.
I haven't even heard of him. I heard a lot of these guys. Wow.
Wait, look at the submarine pitcher, too. He's about to ready to throw that
This
submarine.
is a pack of ooh, you know?
Third baseman, actually, Ed will like this one, Scott Brocious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except his name is an A, not a Yankee.
The gambler, Kenny Rogers.
There you
heck
go.
yeah, there you go. I'm liking this. Keep getting those pictures, baby.
I know. Tony Perez Chica. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
I never heard that name, period.
Oh, my
Is that like
God.
illegitimate child of Tony Perez? I mean, what is this?
Tim Leary.
Oh, my gosh.
Another pitcher.
Not
Finally,
Timothy
another
Leary.
outfielder, Thomas Howard.
You
These
walk
are-
along
these
my
are actually
Timothy
nice
Leary
cards.
show. Thanks, Michael.
Another pitcher. Wow, if we would have done pitchers, we would have had something going. Rod
I
Back.
mean,
Rod back.
Another pitcher, Danny Nagel.
oh, he was a good pitcher for a few years.
Yeah.
there,
Another pitcher, Scott Scudder.
Stoddard. Yeah, I remember.
Scudder.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Scudder. I think it's Stoddard. I'm like, I think it was a guy.
And then ending, amazingly, no Brewers. Ending with an
God.
Angel, Junior Felix, an outfielder.
We completely struck out on Brewers today. Wow.
Okay, so how many outfielders did you have, Kevin?
I had 3.
Okay, so we tied 3.
Oh,
Do we go overtime?
Sure, why not?
Let's do it.
I had 3 out of 8. It took you 14 to get 3, sir. I was going to say we should, because Angelo hates the cards, let's make an opening day pack.
Okay,
Just
that's
like-
that's good. Let's do it.
And you want to just do high number?
Yes, high number.
We do?
Yep.
God, now I have like these packs everywhere, but now in the moment, I'm like, where did I put my opening day packs? Of course, I can't find any of them. Oh, there they are. Sorry. And it's like, good, they're getting rid of another opening day pack.
Yeah.
7 cards, high number, just boom, went through it. Open yours at the same time, Michael, so you're ready.
Okay.
All right. Trey Turner, Carlos Santana, Jeff McNeil, Luis Castillo, Oscar Mercado. Ooh, this is look at this. Look at this Juan Soto. That looks like a
Oh,
rare.
that's cool.
This is probably it's dated with the number. I don't see it individually number on the back, but it has the date opening day. So I'll put off the side, take a look. And opening day, Washington Nationals. Go ahead,
Right.
Michael. See what you got. Now look at my high card.
Oh, let me change the configuration here.
Yeah, thank you.
Big Jock Peterson, Kyle Lewis,
And see, we do 2 packs of these usually, so this could be interesting.
Carlos Correa, Charlie Blackman, Desperate Housewife Eva Longoria, former Cardinal Lance Lynn, former Twin as well, and Teddy Ballgame, Ted Williams.
Oh, nice. Spring is sprung. That's an insert. All right. Well, gosh, I mean, you should be able to beat this most likely. 1-4-2. Carlos Santana.
142.
Yeah, keep that. I like my Juan Soto. At least I got that as consolation.
Charlie Blackman, 149.
There you go.
Oh, barely.
Oh, 2. Wow.
That.
Michael, you got
Yeah.
3 points today.
I got
right?
3 points in that one. Oh, wow.
In first place.
Did I? Yeah. Nice.
But now wait, I didn't even look. We went so fast. We still didn't get a brewer, did we? In this last
No.
batch, I didn't. Oh,
That's
God.
unbelievable that we got
That's
shut
the
out.
first.
So we'll have to drink a little bit more during trivia.
Wait, that means I'm gonna be sober? I can't be sober. I'm home. Sorry, what? Okay, babe.
All right. So this is baseball trivia. Definitely feel free to chime in who you think this is. This is a game of Who Am I from Baseball's Best 1000 Rankings of the Greatest Players of All Time by Derek Gentile. And here we go. I am a 9-time All-Star in 1959. 1959. That is not a misprint.
Nope.
1961, 62, 63, 65, 66, and 67. Now we know because there's 2 All-Star games. I was a Cy Young Award winner, strikeout leader, and MLB wins leader in 1962. My uniform number, 53, was inspired for the Disney's Herbie the Love Bug movies.
Wow.
I made cameo TV appearances on the Beverly Hillbillies, Brady Bunch, Greatest American Hero, Leave It to Beaver, and more. Who am I?
Wow.
I purposely made this a little bit more difficult.
This is the first time I'm like, I have to really think about this. I'm down to 2 names, so I need to think about this for a minute. I think I know, but I need a second to think.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I know, but by the number. If it wasn't the uniform number, I may not have known this. But I'm down to 2 names, and when Angelo's ready, if you want to go ahead, I can give you who I think it is. I will say if I'm correct. Actually, no, I'm not saying too much. I mean,
Yeah.
you can maybe figure out something by the TV stuff because you're like, okay, where is all this stuff being filmed?
That's right.
Obvious.
That's a good clue.
I mean, that's the only given that makes me think it's potentially, someone from, the Dodgers. Gosh, man. Premier pitchers from 59 to 68. Dodgers.
All right, I know. All right, I'm confident now. I'm like, okay, I feel a little better now. I wasn't sure, and I'll explain why in a minute.
This is a shot in the dark, but because I don't even know what uniform number he was. But Don Drysdale.
Wow,
Kevin?
bravo! Because this whole time, like, you're really good because I was like, there's only 2 Dodger pitchers you think of. It's Sandy Koufax and Don Drysdale.
But
And
I think Koufax
like,
was 2.
yeah, there you go.
It was
It's
2.
Drysdale. I didn't know he did all those TV appearances. I
I
didn't
know he was number 53. So
How about that?
I vaguely thought that because I think Sandy was 34. A Dodger fan could correct me on
I knew
that.
Sandy Koufax wasn't 53, so that's why I ruled
Right.
that out.
That's what made me realize it, but I didn't know all those TV appearances. But it makes sense to me because Sandy Koufax seemed to be one who wasn't out there in the spotlight as much.
Right.
And Drysdale totally was. Like, Drysdale was doing he was like the broadcaster for the Dodgers here locally until, my gosh, not that around the time he passed away, actually.
Yeah.
That's right. And, he was actually associated with Sandy Koufax because remember they held out for more money.
Oh, I didn't.
So he was actually connected more to Sandy than anybody kind of realizes at the time when they I think it was when they first came to L.A.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, this is it. So that's Herbie the Love Bug. I didn't know that the 53 was after
I didn't know
him,
that. That's
but I
awesome.
did know about the Brady Bunch one, and so that's what kind of led me to kind of thinking about
No
that.
idea. I want to see him on the Greatest American Hero. I was like, oh my gosh, what?
Yeah. So Chad M actually was the only person in the comments that got that. Very good. Nicely done. All right. So let's go for number 2. See if you can get this one. I was a 12-time All-Star, 85 through 1996, and a 5-time AL batting champion, 83, 85 through 88. I have 2 numbers retired, number 26 with one AL team, number 12 with another AL team. I appeared in a vignette with pro wrestler Mr. Perfect, in which he played baseball. I have made TV cameos in Cheers, The Simpsons, Seinfeld, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Who am I?
This one I know, so I mean, I figured it out. But
Okay. Angelo, any
Man, I vaguely remember the vignette. Because the one I remember most with Mr. Perfect was him throwing the football.
To himself.
The football. I don't necessarily remember the baseball one, but for whatever reason, and this is a callback to earlier in the show, I feel like Wade Boggs had some sort of WWE involvement. So I just don't remember if that was it with Mr. Perfect. So I'll go with Wade Boggs.
I'm giving the thumbs up because I guess apparently they were actually friends. At first I had to think about this, and I'm like, are you telling me the Devil Rays retired his number?
They did. He's only one of 3 people.
You don't even think of him as a Devil Ray.
Yeah. Well, remember, he hit his 3,000th hit for the Devil Ray, and he was a home run, and he came and he kissed the plate. Yep. So that was very ceremonial. So
Player.
and a first ballot Hall of Famer, and Drysdale was actually, if we go back, let's go back to Drysdale real quick.
Yeah, it was like about 10 years or so.
Yeah, so he 10th ballot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was reading, he actually took a little bit of heat for that. But here is that, and Mr. Perfect calling a shot like Babe Ruth, and there's Wade Boggs, and actually there's a picture of him. Wade Boggs came to Nitro, and there's a picture of him and Kurt Hennig is there. It's during Nitro, and he came and it took a really great picture with him. Also, Rick Rude is in the picture as well.
That's awesome.
And here is Wade Boggs when he was on Cheers. They actually stole his pants because they didn't think it was Wade Boggs. It was kind of the sitcom, kind of like, how it goes. I guess it was
like on top in Boston too.
Yeah, and the whole, I think the whole joke was that like somebody was going to send him in to sign autographs, and they didn't think it was him because it was like this guy was like a prankster or whatever. So they wound up chasing him down and stole his pants. But
Sam Malone's character he's the former Boston Red Sox pitcher.
That's right. That's right. Sam Mayday Malone.
Yep.
So here's Wade Boggs with Charlie on a plane. I think it was because Charlie had drank so many beers that he was hallucinating, and he saw Wade Boggs.
So do we have to talk about that now?
Go for it.
And maybe you can give the exact number. There's a famous story where apparently on a cross-country flight, he drank like 150 beers in like a 5-hour flight.
So if you check the playlist that we had, Charlie talked about that on the Jimmy Fallon show.
There you go.
So so that was the whole thing, and I guess he's a legendary beer drinker.
Yes, and apparently like a very superstitious player too. And like the whole thing I heard back in the '80s was you'd have to eat chicken before every single game. That's like a weird like perk about him.
Yeah, and he made he used to like draw this thing in the dirt with his foot before every at bat. It was like the good luck sign, I think, in Chinese or something like that. Yeah. He used to do a lot of stuff. It was chicken every day, so he became known as the Chicken Man as well.
Yeah. So you got to tell me, Michael, was that intentional that it was Wade Boggs as a callback to this day in baseball history?
It absolutely was. So, you got to watch the whole show because you never know when
I'll be honest. If it wasn't for that slide, I probably wouldn't have guessed Wade Boggs. But because Wade Boggs was in my mind, and I vaguely remember those vignettes, and it must have not even been the vignette because I don't remember that photo of him. It must have been the stuff on Nitro that I remember seeing him at. So. Yeah. And during that time, it was like that was when Kurt Hennig was like doing the Rap is Crap, and with Bobby Duncombe and who else was he with?
And the Wyndham, I think.
Wyndham.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, the worst days of Nitro. But that was good. That was always fun stuff. And then they had the feud with the No Limit Soldiers.
Dude, I just had such a long, in-depth conversation with my friends about No Limit Soldiers because we were just talking about Brad Armstrong.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We were just having a random conversation and we talked about, man, remember when Brad Armstrong was in the No Limit Soldiers?
Oh my God, that's right.
And his name was BA. They just called him BA.
My God, those were.
Those
were like the best and worst days of like wrestling.
Hey, 1,000%. Pick up your glasses for Brad's dad, Bob Armstrong, who passed away a couple days ago.
The Bullet.
If anybody knows, old wrestling school fans may know Bob Armstrong. Awesome talent. A lot of you might not have seen him, but he's the man. But he's the patriarch of the Armstrong family. So I'm going to drink a beer for him.
Salud. The Bullet.
Thank you.
Now, do you know why the Bullet wore a mask?
Yes. So
This is crazy.
he almost died in like a weightlifting accident, Angelo. He was doing like a bench press or something, and
it fell on his
thank you,
face.
Chad. So something happened to him where I don't know how this happened, but he lost control of the bar and it had like a big amount of weight on it. And like something happened with the weights. I'm sorry. I think the weights actually came off the bar and landed on his face.
Wow.
Like literally these weights caved in on his face to where he was unrecognizable. They thought he was going to die.
Yeah, it took his nose off.
Yeah, his nose literally came off. His face was completely destroyed. And after like months and months of recovery, he was able to come back, and eventually it was easier for him. He was more comfortable wearing a mask. So he would do this thing where sometimes, Bob Arm's going to disappear, but I'm going to be the Bullet. That's one of those wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know who I am, but it tied in perfect with his nickname. But
that's right.
Awesome, yeah.
That's right. Oh, when pro wrestling was awesome, when it's like that awesome era of like, early, before kind of television or limited television and regions. It was so great. So that is the show we had for you today. Thank you so much for making this a weekly passion project for all of us. And we really appreciate all your involvement. Please like and subscribe. Tell a friend. Turn on notifications. Do whatever you have to do to help us grow. But also, thank you for joining us today. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. So please give us all the love there. Angelo, any plugs?
No plugs. Thank you guys for tuning in. As Michael said, hard to believe, and it's crazy to think we're already in September. So where did this year go, right? But we appreciate all you guys' support. Please follow us on our social media platforms, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Kevin.
First off, 2020, where did it go? It just went down the toilet is where it went. I don't want to think about the fact that it's only September. It feels like we've already gone through a year and a half this year. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I digress. If you're interested in what I'm up to, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Lock and Lull. That's LOKNLOLL. And I try to say it every week. Please, if you like beer, please support your local brewery, your local tap room. And if you're a baseball fan, don't worry about Major League Baseball. If you know of a minor league team or an affiliate of your major league team, try to support a minor league team because we want them to stick around. They're already in danger before all this kicked in.
Yeah, I have a friend who actually reached out to me because I put this one on Instagram, and he said that he got a Richmond Flying Squirrels hat just because he's a Giants fan. I thought that's awesome because they need it more than the Giants right now. So definitely. And Ed says, keep on drinking, everyone. And Jack says, twist my arm. So I think there's going to be some post-game drinking afterwards. So again, thank you for joining us. We will not see you at the ballpark. We will not see you at the brewery, but we will see you here next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Take care, everyone. Good night.